Right, hi everyone. Had my second game. Okay. Had my sorry about that. Had my second game of Dungeon Crawl Classics, and I invited the problem player down and another player as well. And it didn't go exactly great. I was running the portal under the stars. We're pretty much midway through. At this stage, I still haven't finished it. I've got a little bit still to do. The only thing is, that game should have been finished yesterday. And I should have been on to my Labyrinth Lord game, which I'm gonna, probably more mentioned about in another video. And this is the thing. The thing is, I did say to one of the two members about things. Things need to really change to do with this. I mean, mellow out a bit. Really, to do with how this person is coming across, the other person's come across towards people and that, and it got to a point where I think it upset everyone else in the group. And I mean, a lot of the stuff, yeah, they were correct and right upon. Yes, I'll give them that. Especially the problem player. The only thing is, it spoiled the enjoyment of the game, and two, it disrupted the game quite a lot. They did their characters for the Labyrinth Lord, and my plan was to finish Dungeon Crawl Classics and get to play the adventure that I wrote over 2 nights. And get start that, and actually, that's a pretty good game I got coming up. Hopefully, the only thing is, I don't know. I don't know if I could personally continue running a game where there is an atmosphere and there are problems. With the ones I had, before, Chris, Gary, and Jess, it was fine. It was flowing okay. Okay, we're all making mistakes. I haven't been running a game for 11 months because I've been ill with depression. I'm actually quite ill even today because in 4 weeks, about 4 weeks' time, it's the 2nd anniversary of my nan's passing, and it's harder than the first year, because the first year you got memories of them being alive but just over a year before. But in the second year, all you've got is memories of her. She's passed over. She ain't there anymore, so it's quite difficult. So I've got to deal with that. There are other people in the group that have depression just like me as well. And when there's the way what can come across. You can either come across as assertive, aggressive, or passive. And this person is sort of more aggressive and pretty much to the point. That it's more the same that. It should be running that way or this way. And, at one point, when I got to these crystal entities, there was a comment made about, come on, get your act together, sort of like thing. And that hurt a bit because, I was doing my utmost best. And overall, I think I am a good GM. I really do feel I am a good GM. I make fair few mistakes, yes, but I do try to keep the game going. And that's the thing. And that's the thing they said as well to it as well. Once you've said something, you stick with it. You've also got to make sometimes quick decisions, and other times I will pause for a moment before I make a decision on something, which I think's fair enough. I think a lot of GMs would pause. And actually, but it was almost like I was pressurised, like come on, get on with it, sort of thing. But which I didn't need, and it was a frustrating game. And not the problem player, but this other guy as well, which is on here. He was on about because of these little dual little crystal things, He was on about, when I said it was a crystal, he was going on about, is he a gem maker and stuff like that. I repeated it a few times, and I almost lost my rag, because I said, look, this has got to stop, because I'm ready to just quit. At that point, I pretty much had enough. And I'm actually feeling a bit hurt how it went on, because usually, I really enjoy it, and I didn't enjoy that session at all. And what are gems? Crystals. They're all crystals. So I made a decision. So I thought, he would recognise it as a crystal, and that's it. Surely out of because usually you get for the individual classics, each person gets about 4 characters each anyway. So I decided just to say, look, it's a crystal. You can tell it's a crystal. So that sort of thing hurt me a bit. And I don't think he realised, maybe afterwards he did. And it's a case of really thinking before you say something, because that hurt my feelings a bit. And it just wasn't great. More than one person disengaged with the game towards the end. Actually, to be honest with Jess, at the end, because in the end it ended up more of an infighting with characters due to a crystal ball and stuff like that. And there was some good actual role-playing coming from her. Actually, I got to be honest, I do feel Jess overall is probably the best role player in the group at the moment. Definitely. When it comes to it, she's inexperienced. Yeah, she hasn't been playing long, but I can see her really blossoming and really, progressing and growing. I could see her, within a year or so, running her own games. And doing it really well. I can honestly see that. So, but she was doing pretty well, but it just created an atmosphere again, and it felt too confrontational, too aggressive from this person. And at the moment, I'm not sure what to do. I had a long talk with Gary last night, because he was on about, should we talk about it when we get back. I felt that wasn't appropriate. I just wasn't sure how to take it, so I suggested, with our next session, have a group meeting and talk things through to see if we can, make any progress on this. But to be honest, at the moment I think we're pretty much in unison with the problem player, is that he's too stuck in his ways, too obstinate really to change. I do like to give people the opportunity to change, so to give them a chance. But at the moment I'm just not sure. There's a great big question mark. It's just a case that, we're just not sure if either of them are suitable within this particular group, because we want it easy-going game. Sod it if we make mistakes, and honestly, sod it if I end up forgetting a rule or doing something in error. You know, that's another thing. If you accidentally, this question for GMs, if you accidentally say there's 20 orcs in the room when there should have been 6 or something, and you accidentally make a mistake, do you stick with that? Or can you retract and say, sorry, no, there was actually 6, sorry, that came out wrong? And I can see their point on it. You can stick with it, you stick with it, and then you know, it's up to the GM, and it only limits by your imagination. Sort of like the crystal entity things. I mean, I could say that accidentally there was 20 of them in the room. I don't know how they would have fit in that room. Possibly they probably could actually, but the whole point is, yeah, I can see it. Oh yeah, there's 20 in the room, but one hit and they shatter. And I can understand that. But then again, there are 20. You know, there'd be 20 a day, and they're all 0 level characters. And then there was a point in the game where I decided one of these crystal entities wasn't going to attack, and he said, well, why not? Well, they decide to carry on fighting. Why can't they fully, end up taking out the whole group because of their choices? But I felt, due to it's hard enough as it is at 0 level, I felt, well, so a few of them had an attack, I'm gonna, have one where they hasn't attacked. You know, just to give people, and now and again, I do like to give people a little bit of a chance. You know, it's not actually, as foolish as, like jumping into a well, or something like that, or, jumping off a cliff or something. I mean, yeah, certain situations, people deserve to die. Due to, that sort of thing which I've just mentioned about, I would like to give people a chance. There was also them saying about, instead of you, and this is fair enough, I see it fair enough, but also it was disrupting the game. And it was getting too much, to be honest. And maybe, it's down to me as the GM to say, look, time out, and, get things more on track. But at that time, it was really, it was making people flustered, to be honest. It really was, but the point was, using player information rather than character information, think like the characters would think. Which is fair enough. I can see their point on that. But the thing is, that sort of stuff, I think they had their heart in the right place to make me a better GM and them are better players. It's just the way it came across, the way things were handled wasn't very good, and it upset all of it, pretty much all of us, except for the ones that were saying it. And yeah, sorry this is going on, but I really do need to pour out my dealings on this. And to be honest, I'm at now a point, and I'm a bit upset, I'm at a point where I'm not sure if I should carry on with the game in a couple of weeks, or say, well, that's it, knock it on the head. Because we don't need that. I mean, I don't know what sort of job that Chris does, but I know Jess has got a stressful job, and Gary as well. And I suffer from bad depression. So it's not particularly great. As I say, I do believe they are their best interests at heart in a way. it just, the way things came across wasn't very good, and I just wish people would actually just give me a chance to find my feet a bit, for one, because that's my second game in 11 months, and when you've been out of it, especially not running any games for a while, you do need to find your feet anyway. But I always feel I'm fair as a GM, and overall I feel that I run a really good game, and I would rather prefer to have a more easygoing game than a game that feels a bit, a bit too much. And these guys weren't even playing. This is the thing. They weren't, we were going to finish that, which by all rights, that should have finished. I think we started at 3. That should have finished by about 5 o'clock, half 5 or something. I was halfway through. There wasn't, too much left to go. But that game should have finished literally on time. When we finished at 8 o'clock, it was virtually at the end, but there was still a little bit to go. And now I've got to, pick up, carry on with that game next time, and then have a little bit of a break, and then it's gonna be, doing the Labyrinth Lord game, which I didn't particularly need, to be honest. I wanted to finish so I could concentrate on the adventure that I've set up, just concentrate on that for maybe the whole session. That would have been fine by me. So I just need advice. I do not know what to do, to be honest. I could we could have the meeting, as I did say on the way out, about putting down some house rules, and literally do that, or give each person a little bit of time to say their piece on things, and then maybe be able to move on, and maybe can have some really enjoyable games. Personally, I do not like being compared to other people that play games, because I'm not them. This other person I played with, probably was a great DM. They were also saying he was a real harsh bastard to do with, pardon my language, but a real hard bastard with when it came to the games. He'll probably end up dying more than not. And they said, he was a really, really great GM, and he ran some great games and stuff like that. But by the sound of things, the guy was just overly harsh. I would prefer to, give people a little bit of much more of an easier ride than, going things, a little too harshly. It's a bit of a balancing act as well, so it's not always easy. And the thing is, to do with the GMing, it's a hard job to do. It may look easy, but it's not. I mean, sometimes, you can make it look effortless, but it is definitely not the case. It can be, it is a difficult job, because you've got to come up with a plot, you've got to write it all out, you've got other characters that you'd be running and playing, and you've got to make some decisions, and some snap decisions as well. Sometimes, especially in a crucial point of games, you are allowed a minute or so to make a decision on how you are going to handle what has happened in game. You should be given that. Just like the players overall should be given time. Sometimes you wouldn't have time in game. So like if there's a sudden explosion, you've just got to go, with each person what you're going to do, and literally count and then move on to the next person. There's certain situations where they don't get. A lot of the time, you can allow them a little bit of time to think things through before moving on. To be honest, with hindsight to do with yesterday, I feel that I should have called time out, to be honest, and just for people to unwind a bit and stuff like that, because it was just getting too much. I'm now at a point where, as I've said, I'm not sure which way to handle things. So I'm asking people's advice in this because, I've got 3 really easygoing players and 2 that are really not so easygoing. And it's really difficult and hard for me because I've known these 2 people for many years. I've played with them before as well. But I'm not exactly sure what to do. I mean, last time, and I used the excuse of I took the shot, but a lot of it was to do with, too much friction between 2 people. Fair bit of infighting to do with things, and that's the other thing that I really do hate, and I'm sorry this is going on for some time, but I just need to get it all out. I hate it when another player tells another player what to do. It's almost as if out of character. No, you should have run it that way, or you should have done it this way. And to be honest, that should not happen. If the characters make if somebody makes a foolish decision and it affects the rest of the party, they're going to learn from it. As I've said before, they really are going to learn from it. Most people do, and that's not helpful. So at the moment, we've got a few options left open to us. We could, which is the most likely option, is to do what I've said, talk things through, see if we can make any headway with this. At the moment, I can't see this guy changing, and to be honest, we don't need it. Even if he's a lot of the time he's right with the things he says. I mean, he's been playing since '78. I've been playing since '84. Zaf's been playing since the late '70s as well. But even though it's helpful, it can, it's helpful, not really helpful as such. It's actually quite unhelpful. Even though they are right, a lot of the time they are right. But it just got too much, and at the moment I'm going to have a good think about things. I'm also going to talk to, chat again to the other members and just see how things go. One of the suggestions was getting somebody else in and running a couple of sessions to see if this person really could sort things out and put this guy in his place. At the moment, he's on probation, and these 2 guys come as a package as well, sort of thing. So it is decision time. Should they stay or should they go? And at the moment, I'm leaning more towards they should go. But I'm in a very difficult and awkward situation where I've known them for years, they are really good friends overall. And even they said, even Gary said, look, I like him, yeah. I do like him overall. But it's that, when what I've just, all that I've said, and it gets too much. And that it's not with this guy, it ain't just with role playing, it's wargaming as well. oh, why didn't you do this? You know, like this, you know, and why did you make the mistake there? You should have done it like that, and sod that, honestly. Yeah, I mean, or some of the, I'm quite inexperienced in some ways to do with the wargaming, because, you know, I don't get to play as much as I would like to anyway. I haven't played a game since I played Saga, which is a couple of months back. So, at the moment, I've been lucky enough to get a game every couple of months. Now, that's going to change soon. I'm hopefully going to, you know, get in with the Bristol Vanguard lot and actually get a lot more games going. I'm going to do the role-playing join Monday at the Stag and Hangs very soon and just be a player for a moment. That moment, I'm not sure if I want to continue GMing. I'm in two minds. I'm upset at the moment, so I just don't know. This has been running on for 26 minutes, so I do apologise. I hope at least some of you have actually watched the whole thing, because I really do need advice on this. It is heavy, and we all want an enjoyable game, of course we do. But I just feel what happened yesterday was unnecessary, especially when I did talk it to at least to, you know, Zaf about, you know, about things that, you know, it's getting too much, and he's got to try to be more laid back. Now, I know this guy's got problems as well, home problems and stuff like that. And that's another thing, is not bringing it into the game, you know. We've all got problems. I suffer from bad depression, and so, you know, sometimes, you know, I'm not sure if I could play. But I get behind that screen and I will play the game, no matter what's happening. Outside, I do my hardest to make sure everyone else is having a good time. And I think that's the most important thing. So long as everyone has a good time, I think that's the most important thing. And that really is the ultimate golden rule to do with roleplay. Is making sure everyone has a good time. Not one person having a good time, you know, and sod the rest of them. It's everyone having a good time. I'm going to leave it at that, because it's 28 minutes now. Hopefully the next set of vids are going to be a much happier ones. I'm going to do with the ones to do with the I did ones with a hero, you know, behaviour of a hero. So I'm going to want to do a roleplay type vid to do with villains at some point, and I'll hopefully be posting the Eldorado video stuff today or tomorrow. I'm just finishing off there, so I got a lot of that to do. And that's the other thing. I got business that I'm setting up. I'll be setting up a games convention at some point in Bristol. I've got a lot on my plate, so all this is needless. So that's it. Thank you, honestly. Anyone who's made it through this video and watched the whole thing, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thanks very much. But it's till next time.